Scott, Frank, Robert, Beth, Ronnie, Dana, Brad, Mark, Don, Sean, everybody, we're going to get to you. And, there's so many points I want to make. I'm chomping in the bit, but I want to get Webster's view on this as well. When you've been studying this, out of the gates, you learn the smell, the M.O. of a patsy, of a staged event. And, Webster said he was looking for a staged event against Gaddafi. And that may still happen. But I saw massive hype in the last few months saying white al-Qaeda, people that don't like the New World Order, people that don't want banker bailouts, the right-wing Christians, the Tea Party people, they're going to attack because the system wants to demonize those folks. And I called it. And we have the videos up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com where I break that down. We also have the video from local newscast of the drill. It's actually about a day and a half before, with them blowing out the windows and explosions. And I actually gave Jaron the Norwegian news article. Later we'll be able to type that in and put it up on screen and show PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. We're not just a radio show. We're also simulcasting online. The still shot of the men in black uniforms testing bombs out less than a kilometer away from where this place actually got hit. I've also checked. It was not known that the prime minister would be at that island. Now, for some reason, he got a warning and didn't go. But, I mean, this guy clearly had intelligence connections. And so that alone right there, I mean, it's like the bin Laden video. I said, that's fake. And then it later came out it was fake video, CGI. And then the bin Laden killing, I said, that's fake. Obama's not watching the killing in the Situation Room. That photo's clearly staged. Came out later, it was staged. I mean, the point is, these people are creating a false narrative. Webster, finishing up with why drills are important, and then who stands to gain from this? I mean, from just preliminary look at this, who stands to gain from pulling this off in Norway?
Well, the drills, I guess I think we've covered it, right? If you're going to have such an event, you need to use government resources to some degree, but you've got to be able to conduit and bootleg that use through a bureaucracy where some people are not with you, some people are against you, or other people you don't know, and they're going to blackmail you later on. So you've got to have some kind of a cover story for what you're doing. If you're going to take a bomb close to the prime minister's office, you've got to say, that's none of your business, that's covered by Operation so-and-so, which is a sanctioned drill, and look, we're setting off these concussion grenades in this building half a mile away, and this is somehow part of that. So that's that. I think in that case that this is how it's done. Now, in terms of the why, there are basically two things. One is general, and the other I think is specific. Generally speaking, Norway has this independent foreign policy, unlike most of the NATO states. You recall that in 1994 they sponsored the secret talks between the Palestinians, Yasser Arafat, and Yitzhak Rabin of Israel, which led to the Oslo peace accords, which then led to the assassination of Rabin pretty much by the forces that are now controlling Israel. The sort of the Netanyahu faction, generally speaking, has been the one that benefited from the death of Rabin. More recently now, given the push for the recognition of the Palestinian state at the UN General Assembly in September, the Norwegians have pre-announced that they will support, and indeed they will recognize, the Palestinian state. So all of this is important, and there are also things like, will various Norwegian interests divest their interest in certain Israeli wealth funds and things like this, investments? Will they do more or less what was done to South Africa back in the 1980s and 90s? So this is the background. Now, specifically, if you want to be pro-Arab today, you can't be bombing Libya. And the story with that is the prime minister is Stoltenberg. The government is a coalition of the Labour Party, which is sort of a moderate social democratic operation, the Left Socialist Party, which is slightly more radical, and the Centre Party. It's an unusual coalition for Norway, as I understand it. So what happened was, when the question of bombing Libya came up, the foreign minister, whose name is Stora, S-T-O with a line through it, R-E, he had warned Obama and others, Sarkozy, don't start bombing Libya. Don't go for this no-fly zone. It's better not to become involved. However, Norway, under tremendous pressure, caved in, and said, we will now go along and bomb Libya for 3 months. And they did bomb. They sent 6 airplanes, and it's estimated that the 6 airplanes from Norway, as I think I reported on your program the day before this all happened, the 6 planes from Norway were 10% of the entire effort. So 10% is significant. This actually means something, and this is, right now, today. So they're pulling back. As of July, they had gone from 6 to 4 planes, and August 1st, unless something changes, and we should watch to see whether it does, no planes at all. So Norway drops out. Now, that would be the first NATO state to drop out of this coalition in quite that high-profile
Yeah, but
way.
what does a crazy right-wing attack, killing 93 at the island and 7 with a bombing, I mean, I guess that was targeting the prime minister, so I guess that's a message.
Absolutely. Look at the bomb targets the prime minister's office and other government
So that
offices.
way the bankers get to demonize the anti-banker faction of the libertarian right wing worldwide, while also menacing the prime minister, saying next time we can get you, and blame it on whoever we want.
We should also distinguish, if you're operating at the level of the elite, I think, can see very well. This is a warning from NATO to Norway. Stop bucking NATO. It's a warning to the Netherlands. The Netherlands, on the same day that Norway said we're dropping out, the Netherlands said we're partially dropping out. We have 6 planes too, the Dutch, but we're not going to bomb anything.
Even though that sounds small, it sends a moral message. And Webster, expanding on that, let's go to Operation Gladio.
Yeah, but wait. It's very important, because this whole effort with Libya is so feeble. It's so weak logistically. If Norway is 10% and the Netherlands are 10%, the U.S. has also been bashing Denmark. Denmark and Norway have been under heavy diplomatic
For not
attack.
committing enough. Robert Gates has attacked them. No, I get that. But listen to what I'm going to say, because I want your take on this, and we're going to let you go and go to calls, and we'll have to have you back up, obviously, in the next few days, Webster, probably tomorrow, because we want to get your expertise on this. But looking at this, history repeats itself. The stay-behind networks, the NATO secret armies, Gladio, for those that don't know, declassified in Germany and Italy in the last 20 years. Italian prime ministers and presidents have gone public. The CIA with NATO and the Italian government and others would blow up school buses, trains, target kids as their favorite because it pulls on heartstrings. Every time countries would not contribute enough to NATO, they would just blow stuff up and then say that foreign opposition had done it. That's declassified. So this is a classic NATO-type Gladio, where they just have any right-wing, left-wing. They did it all under Gladio. Blow up some stuff, try to kill some presidents, kidnap an Italian president. We had a NATO involved with that in the Red Brigades. So am I right in saying this has a total Gladio smell?
Yes, and I think the Gladio specifically is this SIMAS. November of last year, an Oslo television station came out with a report that the United States directly had been, without permission from the Norwegian government, recruiting a network of retired cops, including the 71-year-old ex-head of the Oslo Police Anti-Terror Division was part of it. So these were SDUs. And I'm afraid I've got the acronym.
So this is a security coup. They stage the event. Now they get to come in and say, let us take over society. And then the security branch is run by the same banks that run the United States.
Right. And the difference is, at the elite level, the Prime Minister of Norway, his camp was bombed, right? That's the Labour Party youth camp that was shot up. His office is bombed. He knows what it is. And the Foreign Minister knows what the real cause is. But the masses are supposed to react to this fake profile that this guy is the right-wing Christian crusader, Templar, whatever this is, which is all fake. It's all artificial.
And it's designed to have people bite onto it because it's so flowery and ridiculous with glamour shots. Webster Tarpley, thank you so much for joining us.